بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين تاح طيب الأمين ومن تبعه من إحسان إلا يوم الدين أما بعد. Today I would like to talk to Islamic students or Muslim students. I am a student myself, and we are confused, right? And we heard a lot of tension, a lot of fights, a lot of religious claims. We are seeing this sect, that sect. Every single thing is confusing. As a student, I don't blame you if you are confused, because you're hearing a lot of information. You heard about one sect, somebody's praising it, and another person is denouncing that sect, and so on. So, what do we do in order to learn from the right person and to avoid learning from the wrong person? Okay, there are a couple of different kind of opposing forces in sects, right? So it is tough for us which Jama'ah of Islam is right, or which Jama'ah is good to learn from and which sect is bad to learn from. It seems like it is confusing. A lot of politics is going on, a lot of unnecessary stuff is going on, a lot of lies is going on. On the other hand, there are Islamic pious Jama'ahs who are telling the truth, who are trying to teach the Islam as it is, as they received from our Prophet ﷺ, as the information received from our Islamic sheikhs, muftis, stuff like that. So if you are confused, you're not alone. Okay, there are a lot of confused people, and I was confused in the past, but it is up to the student to identify who the right person. Okay, there are ways to identify. So I am a student. I would like to send my message to other students, or would like to have a grown-up, professional, respectful conversation with other students, and they call it peer-to-peer conversation. Okay, now my attention is the religious tension or confusion in Ethiopia. You guys might ask, why do I care about what's going on in Ethiopia? I don't live in Ethiopia. Okay, I want to answer quickly about that. I was born and raised up in Ethiopia. Okay, I went to school in Ethiopia, and then I moved to the U.S. Even though I moved, it doesn't mean that I forget about my homeland country, Ethiopia. I have family there, friends, relatives. So I consider Ethiopia as my homeland country, and I would like to visit. Inshallah, I will visit. Therefore, because of this and that reason, I want every single Ethiopian to live in peace. And Ethiopians deserve peace. Okay, there was no religious tension in Ethiopia. I mean, during my lifetime, during my dad and grandpa's time. I mean, among people who has Islam name. You understand what I'm saying? There was no tension between Hassan and Ahmed, or Muhammad and Jamal, whatever. Okay? So, as a student, if you are confused, I have the following suggestion for you in order to identify from whom to learn, from whom not to learn. Okay, since there are opposing forces, right? Okay. Now, first of all, go and ask elderly people. Okay, elderly people, trustworthy people. I'm not saying any elderly person. A person who fears Allah, a person who's pious, a person who knows what was going on in Ethiopia, what the Ethiopian Muslims used to do. Okay? You need to approach those people, or you need to see their activities, what they were doing. I can give you an example. As we know, the vast majority of Ethiopians, the vast majority of Ethiopian Muslims are used to celebrate and are celebrating, inshallah, will celebrate the Mawlid. That's the original Ethiopian Muslim way. Okay? That's why the Mawlid holiday is officially recognized in Ethiopia, right? Okay? The government recognize it, people observe it, government offices are closed. That is official Ethiopian holiday. If some force comes from outside or whatever and tells you that, oh, Mawlid is haram, Mawlid is a shirk act, I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept that. Okay? As a student, you have to open your eyes. This is eye-opener. If somebody's against the Mawlid, which means he's a new sect. I'm sorry, he's a newcomer. Okay? Somebody cannot change verse of the religion as they will. They can't do that. If they do that, I'm sorry, we are no longer in the same religion. No one can come and change a single sect of it. Okay? This is different from bid'ah, by the way. Okay. The other thing as a student, what you should do in order to identify who is the right Jama from the Muslims, who the right Sheikh to go and learn. In Ethiopia, when I was back home, one thing I did not only a few times, maybe many times, when a Muslim died, okay, we honorably buried that person. We attend his funeral. We take him to the cemetery, and that person was honorably buried, and people are reciting Quran. They read Quran. Okay, they recite Quran, right? Okay? So this is permissible in the religion. If you ask your grandpa did that. If you ask your uncle did that. If you ask your older brother or your father or anybody whom you can ask, this has been the way of Islam. Okay? To recite the Quran, to make dua for somebody who passed away. Okay? Now, if some sect or if somebody comes and tell you to do that as haram or shirk, whatever, that is a new sect. I'm sorry. Do not listen to that. Okay? So which means he brought something new. In other words, what he's trying to tell you, your grandpa did that and your grandpa's mushrik. He's telling you that, and that is wrong. Do not listen to that as a student. Okay? You don't have to be a super genius, or you don't have to be mufti mutallaq, or you don't have to be highest or top level of Islam or Sheikh to understand stuff like that. This is a very simple manner. I'm sorry this video might be long, so I'll continue in part 2.